Kemp pushes Georgians to help in the fight against COVID-19. How the state is working to keep you safe.
Residents in isolation to prevent the spread of COVID-19. I speak to one family who says the distance is heartbreaking.
Good evening and thanks for joining us at 9. I'm Sean Gables.
And I'm Brittany Miller. We start with this. The number of coronavirus deaths continues to rise in Georgia tonight.
The Department of Health confirming at least 10 deaths. That's more from just 4 days ago. This was just across the state. There are now nearly 300 confirmed cases, 140 more than yesterday nationwide. The outbreak continues to spread with at least 9,400 cases. More than 150 Americans have died.
Much of Atlanta preparing to close down over the coronavirus. In less than 3 hours, an executive order issued by Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms goes into effect. It forces all bars, gyms, movie theaters, nightclubs, bowling alleys, and social clubs to close until further notice. Bars or restaurants that serve food can stay open, but they're limited to carry out or drive-through only. Atlanta's last call is quickly approaching.
Many of our hospitality workers are already feeling the effects of the shutdown. CBS 46's Tracy Bragg live with the way you can support those in need. Tracy, good evening.
Good evening, Sean. This is Crescent Avenue, and normally on Thursday nights like tonight, it's packed with party goers looking to have a good time. But this Thursday night, as you see, it is like a ghost town out here as we head into Atlanta's last call.
It's not particularly class related or age related. It's really about everybody's involved and we're all gonna have to pull together and do it.
Today, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms announced an executive order closing all bars in Atlanta and limiting restaurants to takeout orders only until further notice.
We've already released everybody. Everybody's furloughed right now except for a few critical inside to put out the food that we have.
The ban goes into effect at midnight and is all in the name of fighting the spread of the coronavirus. While it's a benefit to public health, it's tough for hospitality employees directly affected.
I mean, I think they're a little bit panicked.
To have that rug pulled out, it sucks.
Which brings me to this man, Adam Darby. He created this website, reliefatlanta.com, to help you put your money where your heart is.
You go to the site and you search for the restaurant or cause that you're looking for, and then it'll pull up information on donation links.
Darby tells me those links ensure your dollars of support still get to your favorite bartender or server in need during these unprecedented times.
I think the world population gets to be the phoenix from these ashes.
Darby tells me you can add your favorite bar or restaurant to the list simply by sending him an email. You can find his email on the website. Reporting live in Fulton County, I'm Tracy Bragg, CBS 46 News.
Tracy, thank you. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says he will not order businesses and restaurants to close statewide or force people to quarantine. The governor made that announcement during a virtual news conference this afternoon. He also says state officials have deployed mobile testing sites in some of the areas of Georgia, with more on the way. However, Kemp did address a shortage of medical supplies, including tests.
I want you to know that we have taken immediate action, working with federal officials to secure more tests, as well as critically needed materials from the national stockpile. We are coordinating supply delivery to healthcare facilities that are in need, and we are certainly grateful for all of those who have offered up their inventory to help others.
Right now, the governor says the Department of Health has conducted 508 tests. Commercial labs have conducted nearly 1,400, but because of the volume, results are taking longer than usual to get back.
The Trump administration looking for a way to possibly treat the coronavirus now. President Trump is pushing his administration to fast track an anti-malaria drug. The FDA commissioner says an anti-Ebola drug is also being looked at, but adds a coronavirus vaccine is still a year away. The president says the anti-malaria drug does show some promise.
It's shown very encouraging, very encouraging early results.
That's a drug that the president has directed us to take a closer look at as to whether an expanded use approach to that could be done to actually see if that benefits patients.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration continues to negotiate with Congress on a third phase coronavirus bill, which could come with a price tag of $1 trillion. Senate Republicans' plan could give up to $1,200 to individuals. Also part of the proposal, grants for small businesses, as well as funding and equipment for healthcare professionals.
Tonight, senior citizens living in isolation after 3 residents and an employee test positive for the coronavirus at a nursing home. The cases at the retreat at Canton are the first known cases at a senior care facility in Georgia. CBS 46's Barmel Lyons live in Canton tonight. Barmel, good evening.
Good evening, Sean. Those test results have been sent to the CDC for verification. The retreat at Canton, a senior living facility, has been under a full quarantine. I spoke to one family who says that this transition has been difficult.
She doesn't understand what's going on. I tried to be very simple a while ago and tell her, you know, that a virus is going around. She can relate to that.
Deborah Farr says her mother has Parkinson's dementia and can't understand why her family is on the outside looking in.
When the caregiver, I said, can you open the window? And she says, no, we can't open the window.
Granddaughter Christy Vaughn says today is the first day seeing her grandmother since the quarantine.
First thing we need to think about is their mental state, you know, being down and out and not being able to socialize with their family and friends. It's, you know, I mean, that would make anybody sad and kind of down and out.
I come on Thursdays, my sister comes on Sundays. I stop by during the week before work.
Farr says the senior living facility is waiting to hear back from the CDC confirming the positive results.
They have not heard back, and the elderly are the ones that are more at risk to die from this.
Great-granddaughter Grace Vaughn says her biggest fear is the unknown.
You never really know. You never know how it's going to affect her, how it's going to affect the whole facility, what's going to happen. You don't know.
Now, according to a statement from the retreat at Canton, they have been working hand in hand with the Georgia Department of Public Health to identify any and all contacts that have been exposed to that virus. They've also been trying to maintain the best practice when it comes to social isolation.
Barmel, what is the status of the family members of the 3 residents who tested positive, and have they been exposed?
Well, in regards to those 3 family members of those residents who were exposed to that coronavirus, they're right now in a 14-day isolation. They're trying to identify if they have any symptoms at all.
All right, Barmel reporting live from us. I know you'll continue to ask questions. We'll see you on CBS 46 News at 11. New tonight, Atlanta Public Schools has confirmed its first case of coronavirus within their system. APS says it was one of their employees who works at North Atlanta High School. After an investigation by the Board of Health, we're told no students or staff were directly exposed. The employee is now in self-quarantine.
A Southwest Georgia hospital dealing with a major coronavirus problem. There are